What's going on, guys? I'm just letting people kind of log in to see if anybody's going to join us. So we could talk big picture markets. My guys kind of know what we're doing in crypto. It's kind of a lot of hurry up and wait as this market just is kind of rolling over on another daily cycle. I'm just gonna run through kind of what we see global macro. I like to start with the dollar. We've had a pretty good correlations with down dollar. You get down, up dollar is down stocks. Up dollar usually is typically down gold, but pretty good correlation. So we've had this pretty good ebb and flow in the euro. Whether you want to look at, I mean, the DXY is always made up mostly of the euro versus the dollar anyway. But there's been this daily cycle's done a good job. We cycled lower here on the euro, back up to 125, back down. We had a big reversal at the end of last week, or the beginning of last week, I guess it was, on the 1st of March, which the first day of the month, and you trade up that strong is kind of actually a pretty good sign for the markets that whether we finish with a March low on the euro, I think is probably going to be pretty significant. You'd have to take out this low then, which is actually the pivot. But anyway, this daily cycle's done a good job. You're high within the cycle at 125. We cycled all the way to the lows, made a higher low. And now we've cycled all the way back up to kind of here midweek. And you want to be a seller back up at these levels to 125 from a longer term course perspective. And then anytime the euro rallies, you get euro pound typically high within the range. So we can see that as well. So I've been a little bit more aggressive short in euros versus the pound up here. Getting a pretty good topping tail right here. All right, so this regression channel has just done a great job. So still like core short euro versus the pound. Slowly going to start to feed into more of a core short on the euro versus the dollar. And then down dollar obviously means a lot for other markets. So each time we've had a little bit of a rally in the dollar, we've had stocks come off the lows. And then when we were down here on the 1st, we already started to come off the top. But the key thing here in S&Ps is that we had this big move down. It was basically an 8.6 count right into the 200 with the cycle low, and then you bounce to a lower high. So we really consolidated now almost into a pennant formation. And so this is what we got going on now. It's a sloppy way to draw it, but that's the point. The key was we bounced to a lower high, and then this is the big long-term area. You're still going to hold bullish as long as we hold pi here at 2,500 on S&Ps. So we'll see. If you take out this high now, that's the pivot to say, well, we could probably retest the all-time high. And then if we take this low out, you want to look for a retest of at least the 200, but potentially these lows down around here, 2550. So not a whole lot to do right here in the middle. The VIX is echoing more of the same. So back here, the VIX was back near the bands down around 15. That's where you wanted to be buying puts. You know, I was buying puts on my Apple stock up there. Bought some shorted S&Ps a little bit up here. And now we're just kind of stuck in the middle of this VIX range. Intermediate term range is 115 to really 25. So 20s kind of hanging out right in the middle. You know, Bitcoin futures still a little bit short. We've had this daily cycle doing a good job. We're high within the cycle here, made some sales, covered low within the cycle, and then we reshorted here back into the same resistance area right in front of 12,000. You can see the 4 hour did a great job also. Pi is starting to show up here on futures. We've had enough data. So we've had well over 314 4-hour candles now, so we're starting to form that Pi line, and market failed right at it. So not surprised that we cycled away. I'm going to stay with this hedge for this entire daily cycle. I think this is just getting started, so it kind of makes me think that we can retest 9,500 on BTC or Bitcoin futures, XBT. The CME chart will be pretty much the same. So then you have gold, which obviously kind of competes with Bitcoin to some extent. We don't have the same big global macro correlations. But we liked gold down around 1,300, and we've had a pretty good bounce off of that level. It's been pretty choppy. Long term, it's not going to really move into a bull market until you can start to get above this 13 3/4 level, 13,375. Hasn't been able to get above there for years. So despite all the gold bugs getting all excited when like Bitcoin crashes, gold hasn't gone anywhere. So you can trade it around. There's just not a lot of momentum in the precious metals markets. Oil's had a pretty good move right to some long-term levels where it failed. You had the top of the regression channels on a monthly level. On a monthly level, you failed right at the bands. So you still haven't really rolled the daily chart. You failed at some long-term levels, but the daily chart still making higher lows. So this is a big level at 58. Put in another higher low last week at 60. And this trades a lot like S&Ps. You had the big move down, bounced to a lower high with the cycle. I sold some oil up there just when same time I sold my S&Ps, covered that. And just kind of is what it is there. Let's see what else. I don't know why I'm getting a BitConnect YouTube ads. Unbelievable. What's up, Santiago? No, I didn't get into. I just talked to you about the euro versus the dollar. We can look at euro yen. I haven't been trading euro yen a whole lot. Just sometimes I get trading 3 or 4 pairs. Kind of ends up being enough, but there has been pretty good movement in the yen. I mean, I would say if we look at the dollar versus the yen, I like these levels down here, the 106 handle. Big picture. This has been the bottom of their long-term range. You're right back at Pi. So I've been playing it from the long side, core long. And the yen's obviously been weakening for several months, but it's starting to firm up a little bit. And obviously, if stocks roll over, you should see some more yen strength as well. The yen's been strengthening into this level. And I don't think the Bank of Japan likes it. I really don't. So I don't know. If stocks really fall out of bed, then yeah, probably you're going to see dollar yen break Pi here. So far, I'm still playing that on the long side, and then we've seen yen strength here, longer term on euro versus the euro, and from a trend perspective, breaking 133 was trouble. You can see how the trend was just higher lows consistently. All these higher lows. And then right here, once we couldn't hold the bands, that was trouble. So in our model, when you can't hold the bands, you tend to get to the move to the 200 and or all the way back to pi. So that's the trend that's in place right now, big picture. This daily cycle is coming up. I'd be a seller back here towards 132, big picture for sure. Right into this area as the cycle comes back up here. 132, 133. If you're playing a little bit more intermediate term or day trade, and I mean the trend's been up this morning. You can see how the market's trying to struggle here at the bands. It's just you're still making higher lows. Near-term momentum is bullish today. Nothing but higher lows. Pi's rising. The 200's rising. So I think big picture, it's a little bit more interesting on the short side. Selling the euro versus the yen closer to 132, 133. Day trade, I'd be probably buying dips here unless you got back below 131. You mean big picture? Santiago, you mean from like the fall from 134? Yeah, if that's one thing I teach you here, right here and now, is that when you break the bands, which is just a way of measuring the trend, when you tend to break the trend, you're going to get the bigger pullback. It doesn't matter if it's a stock, commodity. It's just when you break that prior trend, you tend to get the deeper pullback. So breaking the bands there, I'm not surprised that I wouldn't be surprised if we go back to 128. That's the other thing. I mean, if you're bearish the euro at 125 and stocks do roll over, you should see some decent yen strength as a flight to quality. So you could see the euro yen, this could really trade off in kind of a risk off move. I would kind of try to time that up though when euro's high within the range, you know, if you're going to short it. Okay, cool. There's good covers too, below 130. The cycle was really low. And the dollar yen here, got more bottoming tails. Anything under 106, I've been buying. Just trading it around on certain like 15-minute, 30-minute pops. Getting another pretty good one. Just give me a second here, guys. What else do you guys want to look at? Crypto? Look at the crypto markets. So there's some headlines going around about Binance getting hacked, or I'm not really sure the news headline, but I've just been talking about this daily cycle rolling over. So I think you're going to see Binance test this low support, 857, and then if it continues to roll over with this daily cycle, you can't hold there. We're probably going to be back at $7 on Binance. I think the overall market is setting up the same way. BTC has been on this pretty good ebb and flow. The cycles are pretty high, trying to roll over. You've already see it happen, and Ethereum's crossing. Litecoin rolled over, was high within this. Litecoin's on a different rhythm here, but it did cycle halfway back and then flipped and went negative again. So I think you got to be a little bit patient buying stuff here. I think we're going to get a shot at lower prices. I mean, it doesn't mean you can't nibble. It's just you got to be patient. The narrow has been so strong. Let's see what else. I mean, I just had a few other nibbles. I mean, I still think you want to play Cardano at this point all the way back to essentially zero. So you want to try to work your risk on a dollar basis, not really a percentage basis. So in other words, you can still see a pretty big drop from, 25 cents to 12 cents is you lose 50%. So you don't want to, you got to be willing to sit through a 50%, 100% drop from here. So it's easier just to say, hey, I want to build into an average position maybe around 5 cents or, however close the market gets to zero. And then at that point, just have your average cost close enough to zero that, if it stays at zero, you're happy with losing 10 grand or 5 grand. You got to do it on a dollar basis. I don't think this is going to zero and going to hang out there. I think we're going to have a violent rip back to the upside at some point. So this is working. This is just part of working lower lows. You got to be patient, and you can trade it around too. So we'll see. I added a little bit here. It's the same thinking on salt. I mean, there's some 50% swings in here. So if you buy a little bit, it pops, come out of some. But I'm trying to get my core position down at lower levels. I wish we had some better data to see like the monthly cycles here. No monthly, weekly. The weekly cycle is awfully low. I think you're going to see another big ramp here at some point also. Hey, what's up, Jason? Yeah, okay, thanks, Chex Mix. That's kind of what I heard. Yeah. Just more hacking. Yeah, we can look at Amisego. What was I gonna do? Oh, I wanted to just look at this cycle real quick on Bitcoin. I don't know. I guess GDAC's been around pretty good amount of time. This has definitely been one of the longest down cycles on Bitcoin. The weekly's turned up. I hope we're not sitting through a whole nother. I hope the monthly cycle's not halfway done and we got to sit through another 2 months of this low energy going sideways. I mean, I guess based on that chart, this stochastic here, we could definitely. I'd hate to see us move into literally another 2 months before we get rocking and rolling again. Weekly cycles ready. Got to clear that 12,000 area. Yeah, so we can look at Neo, Amisego today, and Neo, they've already pulled back a decent amount on the daily. So you can notice that Bitcoin just started rolling over on its daily cycle. Well, Neo and Amisego kind of came off the top last week, so We're down at 14 already. I said this morning to the group that I really didn't want to see it kind of break much below the bands at 16, and we're already through that. I think it's prudent to take some risk off on a Misego here. You can always get back in if it can regain 15, but you might get a shot at buying some better levels. Couldn't hold the 200. Hopefully it took some profit into a new high. Neo's failing to hold the bands too. This chart doesn't seem like it's updating very well. Sitting on 100. I just watch this 100 area, guys. If you can't hold 100, then it might be the same thing. I mean, I hate to say it, but anytime you break the bands, I mean, people don't like to sit through these drawdowns, but they do. I mean, anytime you break the bands, it's just a lot of room back to 60, 65. I might cut some of that position too if we don't hold 100. Like gas, we cut our risk on gas, just went to the sidelines, and then now you're, just got to manage your risk. It's 30% cheaper. That's versus Bitcoin even. Yeah. I mean, we had a good run. We kind of needed to shake out everybody that was chasing. I mean, you can look at the Google trends, guys. We've done that before on BTC. And obviously it follows price. But when we're on CNBC every day for 2 weeks, price is going vertical. A lot of those people are going to have to get shaken out of the market that came in late. I mean, we've just been lower highs. Nothing but lower highs. People searching Bitcoin. These searches will follow the price pretty good. So it's just a time thing. It's unfortunate that more people were trading on the short side in futures than these soft patches in the market are a lot more interesting. You can make some money while you can make some cash and then turn around and put it into these alts at lower prices, or put it into the names you like. We definitely want to buy some gas though if we get back towards 20, 200,000, 150,000 sats down here. Yeah, I wouldn't short Neo. It's already fell too far to short it. I mean, I just don't like shorting things when they've already fallen eight candles in a row. I mean, taking some risk off is playing defense, which is prudent. But I'm not even going to get out of all my position, I don't think. If probably cut maybe 80% if we can't hold 100. Regulation, that's been going the other way. Still making lower highs. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's just a capital flow thing, guys. I mean, these institutions haven't even got into the market yet, and the big money. I mean, you've got some faster hedge fund money, of course. It's been in the space for a while, but I mean, all the big shift and all these Wall Street firms wanting to get in the space, it's going to take some time. I mean, they don't have the regulatory stuff in line yet, so that capital hasn't come in yet. I think Robinhood's going to be a big positive. That's taking a while. Should look for some short names. You guys have any good short ideas? I mean, I don't really want to short the best coins. I'd rather try to go to the short book on the short side on some stuff that we think is garbage. Like, I know a lot of you guys don't like Dash, but that's just not one that, if you don't agree with the philosophical standpoint, I mean, that's not something that I just want to short because, I mean, I'm talking like something that's, I don't know, like, you know, something like Internet of People. What does that even mean? That's already down pretty good. I've been pretty skeptical of these cryptos associated like 10x and Monaco. I'm just not sure they're gonna have the same need. Which the Sapano, which coin do you mean? For Bitcoin? Well, I mean, from a directional standpoint, I just think you got to respect this daily cycle on BTC. I've been talking to my guys about you can't get above 12,000, and we were up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. You had an 8 count. 8.6 frequency is a big frequency when you understand cycles. It's the global business cycle is on an 8.6 count. All right, it's 4 years down and 4 years back up. So 2007 was a top in the global business cycle, and we topped out here 8 years later, 2015, and we've been on a down cycle into 2020. And so these are turning points in time, and that's big picture stuff. But that same frequency, there's actually a wave inside of it that looks like that. There's a wave like that inside of it. There's 2 other minor turning points here. But anyway, so that same frequency exists on all time frames, and we just had an 8.6 bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With the cycle here, so not being able to stay above the 8 here, I just think there's a lot of room for the market to trade lower. So I've been defensive. I've got a little hedge on in BTC futures, so that's how I'm playing it. And if you can't hold these lows, guys, from the end of February, that's another cautious, concerning sign that maybe we're going to revisit pi. Pi is going to be rising probably into like 7,500. There's really no support until this is a pretty big level, 93.70. A little bit of support back here at 8,000. But we already did a lot of work at 8, so that's the problem. If you crack that low, there's going to be a lot of hot air. Yep. And then on the upside, you know, it was going to be pretty bullish if we could have taken out that topping tail, but the market's just not ready. Sometimes you got to take a run at the wall a couple times before we break through. Are you guys doing anything in mining? I was going to say, you know, we've got some miner partnerships set up now, and so anybody that's really interested in mining, I mean, I love the concept when I first started to learn about it, but you really only have two choices. You either can do it yourself, right? So you're gonna buy the equipment and turn on the machines and run your electricity bill up and be, you know, run a bunch of loud machines in your house, or I guess you could try to scale out and set up a commercial place, or go buy a storage unit, or lease a small industrial space. But that's just not for most people. Or you check out something like Genesis Mining, and I think these guys are good. I mean, I have a few contracts on the BTC side with them. But what we wanted to set up was we're doing GPU mining, BTC mining, and we've been getting more into master nodes. And so we're going to set up some solutions where you can still, for not having to do any of the work, you know, you can trust a third party. These guys are pretty good, but you're probably only sharing in 25% of the profits over here. So we want to at least probably offer our clients double or triple that. So we have two mining groups that we're going to be working with. One's out of Texas, one's out of St. Louis. Anyway, I just know that the Genesis mining contracts come on, the lifetime contracts that I bought into, I don't know, 3 months ago. They haven't even come online yet. I didn't know if anybody uses them. Their payouts have been really slow too lately, so I'm not really sure what's up with them. But if you guys are interested you want to get into mining, because we're going to combine mining and trading, but we can mine much more profitable than having to rely on third party like this. So you guys could always reach out to us if that's something you're interested in. Hopefully, if anybody that's watching it doesn't know how to reach out to us, just go to Jenkins RM. JenkinsRM.com for now, and we're building out Block Edge Capital as we speak. We actually kind of refresh the site there, but this is the easiest way to come into our chat room. It's free to join. You can message us in there. Message me. We have our crypto education stuff here also. If you want to learn how to trade, the model, real-time alerts product. Um, we've been doing some stuff with Polis Masternode. Smart has been having a few glitches. There's a couple others that the tech guys they're really on top of it. Have been like mining Zcash for a long time that and so they're gonna mine some of the coins that are more profitable, and then as we increase our stake or position in some of those coins, then as they roll out master nodes, then we kind of jump on board with that. And this is Block Edge Capital. Santiago, I just have the Bitcoin contracts. I thought those looked the most profitable. I mean, they were the most profitable because a lifetime contract, and then obviously maybe you have to update some of the equipment, but the Ethereum didn't seem the break even was like 100 and I want to say 90 or 120 days, and then break even on Ethereum was 300 days. Zcash was 300 days at the time. And I don't even look at that stuff anymore because getting into mining on our own is just, doesn't make sense to pay them anymore. But it's nice to have, every 5 days have some BTC hit your account. Yeah, I think so, Jason. What I didn't do today is look at on the relative value basis where we're at. Yeah, that is a big move, huh? Let's see what futures are doing. Whew, smashing. Wow. Absolutely smashing. I might cover half of my short here. And then cover the rest at 9,400 and then see what happens. If we bounce from there, it'll be a good cover. If it breaks, I just reshort. Probably do that. Wow. They just blasted the market though, huh? That's what I'm saying, guys. This daily cycle, you got to give it a lot of importance. It keeps you out of trouble. It keeps you from getting too aggressive. Everybody's getting excited into these highs, which that's what happens, And then we have a 5-day pullback and the first day down. Why does this daily chart not update? That's not where the market is. Something's up with Coinergy. But even like the euro, I mean, you can get it too. You can just, if you're just looking at price and you say, oh man, the euro's at a new low, we broke 122, and you trap all these shorts, and the cycle keeps you out of that trouble. Because believe me, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of machines that are going crazy and going off, and the algos, and taking out this low on the euro, getting short, and that's the fuel to swing that move. This was a really violent move on the same day we had the tariff stuff going on, and it was just a nasty move back. But if you're just watching lows, and that's the thing, is people have such poor timing, is that they don't want to be bearish here, and then they watch all of this, and then it takes out a low, and then they want to short. That's what happens, and that's the fuel and the energy to swing it all the way back the other way. But when you watch the cycles, and you never really want to short something on a new low, depending on where it's came from. So when a market falls from here, basically in a straight line to a new low below here, you don't want to short that. That's where you want to be covering if you were short. It's okay to stop, but to initiate shorts after a drop from here to here, you're just going to put yourself... We never want to... I teach my guys, you never short new lows. The amateurs are shorting new lows. The pros are covering into new lows. A good professional trader covers new lows. Short, covering into the new low. And then sure enough, right back up. The only time I'll short a new low is if it's basing, and then you take the base out. That's different. That's prices come down, it's based, and then it breaks. That's a different. You can short that new low, but when something comes down, comes back up, and then drops from a high level like that, and you short the low, no, it's not a good idea. No, I'm not bullish the euro. No, I'm long-term bearish. I'm just saying that we were oversold down here, 121, 122. I mean, I was still okay having a core short there at new lows. But I also said that the cycle was low. You could easily bounce back up and make another lower high. So I've been shorting the euro versus the pound and the euro versus the dollar. Is there anything else you guys want to look at? I just want to jump on and have some more live sessions. I didn't do a whole lot of FX trading today. You can see some of my euro pound short here. Been slowly building back into that. What did I do? The euro, I'm flat now. Day trade, but I can't really see what I was trying to do here. I sold a little bit of euro on this move up towards pi here this morning. I was just really lightly short there. The easier trade was was short euro pounds, just selling into this high. We've been talking about being high within this range. I was selling inside of this topping tail. I think that's a pretty good opportunity. Stay on the short side here, euro versus the pound. And then dragon. I was waiting to see if we were going to retest this resistance up here. Market just failed there, actually. So I sold a little bit the way up, just contrarian short on Dragon here. Dragon's the name for euro versus the pound. I sold a little bit up into this move and then covered. I like where we failed there. So if we come back up here, I'll probably try to reshort a little bit and see if this 1 minute chart will roll back over. Kind of play for a move back down into this area. That failed at a pretty good spot from a couple days ago. I've traded at different places over the years. A lot at FXCM for a while, and then they had some issues, and Owanda now, Forex, Forex.com, JFD is an overseas account. Thinkorswim, and I haven't traded FX on Interactive Brokers, but they're pretty good too. And then I've traded through Bloomberg, which clear through different clearing firms. But retail stuff, I mean, I think Thinkorswim is one of the best if you kind of think in retail. Because you can trade, they've got BTC going over there. They've always been pretty good with futures, the amount of futures in Forex you can trade. Their mobile platform was always the best mobile platform. I don't have a big view on Dragon up here from a core perspective. It's been kind of choppy. I mean, kind of like Euro versus the yen. When you broke the bands, yeah, there was a trade here back to pi, but you've already had that move play out. So, I mean, there is a chance that that pound yen will break this low, and maybe you go back to 141. But we've been right in the 8, but you also are trapped here at pi. So I think there's better risk reward up at 150. Think about a core short. Plus your daily is still rising. So, I mean, yeah, you might fail here at the 8. But I like it to really set a core short. I think you're better off like 149, 150. But definitely you want to follow that daily cycle back up. Pi's done a great job on the way down on the hourly. You can see this has been a pretty big move down already. I mean, ideally, if you were been core short, you would still be core short, and I would just trail out above the bands. If we get above 148 and a quarter, then you probably are going to get that move back to 150 or 151. Yeah, guys. So I don't know if you're new. We'll do some more live sessions like this. But I work with my traders couple days a week. We trade live together. I have a training course over here at jenkinsrm.com. It's 9 hours of video of on demand, everything that I used to teach all these institutions and hedge fund guys we'd work with and the desks of these different fixed income shops. But that's all in this model I built over 10 years, and it's a great value if you guys want a good trading model to apply to any markets. So obviously we use it in crypto also. This is our chat room. It's only $99 a month. Videos, analysis, a lot of trade signals. And then group coaching is obviously a little bit more, but you're getting live time with me, and so we work through all kinds of stuff. Risk, position sizing, mental analysis, psychology of trading, It's just different when you're inside a position, like how to work a position, how to bid and offer. So we do a lot of day trading there, and then just talk big picture, global macro. So that's kind of all around getting some of the best training you can get. It's the only way to do it is live. That's it, guys. This is Block Edge Capital that we're building out, and then, if we're still in the private pre-sale rounds of our ICO. Also, a couple of our advisors are getting back from, was it Polycon, whatever the big blockchain conference in the Caymans, or was this last weekend. So probably going to have some bigger developments out of there. But if anybody is interested in our Rhythm project, again, just come into the chat room and let us know. And you can read more about that here, white paper, pitch deck. Yeah, and then the only other thing was mining. So we've gotten a lot of these mining contracts up and ready through our legal law firms and stuff like that. So I'll be sharing some results on that more going forward, but that's kind of what I wanted to let people know. I mean, because I've been itching to get involved in mining for a long time. I just don't. I would have never been able to set up shop here at the house or at my office. So now we're doing it right. We've got two big teams with some really good developers and the tech side and some capital. So wanted to kind of make that available. We're not going to open it up like a Genesis Mining to anybody and everybody, but I think it's going to be one of the best ways for, quote unquote, the average person to get involved in mining. Yeah, so we're excited about that. All right, guys, watch this BTC level. I guess in cash, it's 93.30. On Gemini, on 93.30. Yeah, 9,300. Basically on GDAX, on futures. Yeah, 92.90. Looks like that's where the market wants to go. So but I'll probably buy. I'll put some signals in the room if and when we test there. I'll probably give Cardano another ad, Salt another ad, and maybe I'd like to see where Monero's trading if and when we get back there. Probably Ethereum too. But again, we want to kind of stay patient, right, with this daily cycle. So those are your 2 points to look at: your time reference and your price level as far as trend in price goes, right there, 9,300. I mean, day trade, this has been nothing but if you were just outright day trading, you'd want to be on the short side since last week. All these lower highs. We're going to start doing more day trading on futures here also. A lot more day trade signals. All right, guys. Thanks for hopping on. It's good to see some of you. Look forward to seeing more of you in the chat room. It's like 75 degrees here in South Florida, so I think I'm going to go grab some lunch on the water. All right, guys, cool. Welcome. Talk to you a little later. Enjoy the rest of your trading day.